Hey everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, you are in for a treat. Today we are diving right back to the broadcast style animation journey, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up. Hit that subscribe button and join our creative community. Let's dive right in. We are going to continue from where we left off the last time. Camera animation that we've done from the camera crane. Yes, so today is gonna be basically running us through texturing, finally using some camera tricks to animate the text as well to wrap up on this particular broadcast style animation. What we can quickly do right here is to bring back our material by going to the options and toggle the materials, which is the NNQ, which is the shortcut. So we have our materials right back here. So we can quickly do some texturing right on the bosses over here. So we go back to our materials over here. With the red one, I'll just hold my control to clone it up, drag it to the top, and I'll name this one bars. So I'll change the reflection, I'll drop it down a bit. I'll drop the glossiness around this region. I think 0.5 is fine. With the glossiness, let me just shoot it up 0.56 is okay, so that it won't be too much. With the diffuse, I will change the red just a bit, open it up on this angle so that it will be the same as the one on the floor. Just to pop it up a bit, drag this one back a bit. Actually, let me go to the one on the far right here. Yeah, just play around it to get the actual feel you want to get in your texturing. So with what I have so far, I'll select the bars right here, do my S to snap it up to show it up from there. So I'll name this one bars. Yeah, I'll drop the bars material right on it. Yes, like this. There we have it. Yeah, with the ones moving around, I can drop this material right here on it. Yeah, drop it on this one as well. And the box, I'll just clone the white, put it on top right here, rename this one box white, and I'll drag it on the bosses right here, this one and this one. And we had one sweep right here from the middle section. I'll drop the black one also on it, just like this. Yeah, so there we have it. From here, I can just drop in my HDR to see how my scene is looking. You can get the HDR from polyhaven.com. For me, I'll probably just go to my Cosmos browser. I have some few downloaded there. I'll just go to this one and just pick any random one from here. With the HDR selected, I'll just go to my general and I'll just drop my light down, the intensity about 0.2. I'll do a quick interactive render to see how I'm looking. So we can see that the colors that we have from the initial one right here is not matching the one that we have right here in the scene, and we can see the HDR showing right from the back. The two bosses that we have top and down, the light on it is not that much to pop it up. This our focus, we have to pop it up as well. You be eyeballing the colors that we have right here in the corner to match your colors right over here. But before we match the colors, I'll just quickly select the region that I want to keep right here. I will go to my HDR. With your HDR selected, you go to options and you toggle the invisibility, and you have the HDR of the camera. Yeah, I'll try to match the colors first before I proceed with lighting up the bosses in the middle. What I can do from here is to just click on my color balance, and I'll go to my shadows. Yeah, this all, I'll not do it on all. I'll toggle it in the shadows, in the mids and the highlights to match close to this color before I'll post process it later on in After Effects. Okay, don't mind the overlapping of these lines right here. We can solve it up in post processing, or if you like, you can do it right here. I can fix it probably before I do my final exports, but even if you don't do it, that's fine. We can fix it up in the post production. I'll just go to my shadows. Since we have blues in the previous one, remember you have to color match your scenes so that they are all looking identical throughout your whole montage. That's one trick right there. So I'll go to my blues in the shadows. I'll just push it here, before, after. Just by pushing the blues, increasing the intensity on it, we are getting close right there. I think around here it's fine, but we have more of the red, so I can just drop the reds down like this. So I'll go to my mids. With the mids, I'll pop the blues as well. Don't push it so much on it. And I'll go to my highlight as well, and I'll push my reds just like this. Make sure you don't pop the red so much, something subtle, just like this. So this is how we are looking so far. You can just play around with your colors, slide them off right in to get a perfect match to how your previous scene is looking. Yeah, I don't want to crack this so much. I think over here I'm okay for now. I don't want to go so much on it. Yeah, so this is how we are looking before and this after. You can try to add some white balance here to bring the temperature down a bit, to reduce the warmth from there. Not so much. The tints, you don't want to push it so much. You can add few more on it based on how your scene is looking. With the curves and the hue saturation, you can do that one in a post-production. Yeah, so let's focus on the middle section right here so that we can light up our boss in the middle. So we can use some area light to light the middle section from here. So I'll just pause my render quickly and I'll go to my other view, which is a perspective. Yeah, so I'll go to my V-ray, go to light and do my area light. Drag it way back and open it up on the scale just like this, and I'll go to my camera, go to use camera and use selected object as camera. I'm currently in the light. To position it on my object, I'll put it around this region. I'll go to my camera again and use my default camera. I'm out of the area lights that I've created, so I'll just bring it closer to the scene, open it up like this, duplicate it up again, go to my camera, use selected object as camera, light it up around this area again. Since our camera is going right around it, you can light it up on all angles so that you don't have darker tones on the areas that the camera will be passing by. I'll go back to my default again. I'll set up my intensity on both lights before I proceed so that I know what I'm currently doing. Select the first light and the second, go to options and make it invisible right from there. So let me go back to my camera, do quick render to see how it's looking so far. Yeah, we can see the light that we set up is doing its job right from the middle and is lighting the boss up, but there's something happening right here. You can see that it's reflecting on the floor, which is something we don't want to see. It's off the grid so much. It's something that we don't want to see at all. So what we can do is to introduce light linking. Yeah, we can relate the light to only affect the bosses in the middle or objects in the middle that we want it to affect without touching the floor or any other part in the scene. Before we do that, yeah, let's just light up the scene the way we want it to look first before we do the light linking. Yeah, so let me just minimize, go back to the scene, duplicate these guys once again to create the light all around. Yeah, so I'll go back to the light again, right from this angle. Hold your control and drag, use selected object as camera. Yeah, so we do the same thing from here, just like this, and we go back to our camera and do the default camera. With the ones that are way far from the middle box that we have right there, we just drag it closer so that our light looks even. You just do your quick render and see how you're looking. So I'll do my quick render to see how it's looking so far. Yep, it's like we are getting there. We have the light set up from all angles hitting the box just like this. From here we can quickly just do the light linking so that we know how our scene is looking so far. With this, I'll just go to I'll pause the render right there, select the first light, and I'll make sure I select all the groups of the bosses right here, the sweep, second, the bars, the bow over here. I know that all these guys are part of the middle section. What I can do is I'll just do Alt letter G to duplicate it up and make it mid. Yeah, when I turn it off, all the middle section is off. Yes, so with the first light selected, I'll go to my project and go to include, and I'll do my mid. Yeah, select the second light, go to include, go to pick up and select what? The mid. Go to the third one as well, go to include, that's the pickup, the eyedropper, and you select the mid. You click back on it to deactivate it. You go to the last light, you go to include, and you do the mid as well. Yeah, so let's see how our scene is being treated by the little change that we've just done. Yeah, you can see the magic just happen by we just doing that. So we have our lights just affecting the middle section, which is the boss, without affecting the floor. And that's how you go about your light linking in Cinema 4D. So I'll just quickly pause my render. I would like to push some highlights on the white bosses we have around the scene so that they don't look dull. They have to look lively. I can try to add HDR to affect only them, but there's another alternative that we can use by adding a Cryptomat to affect the exposure only on the selected objects. That can be something that you can do real quick. Pause the render right here and I'll go to V-Ray, go to render elements. And we have our Cryptomat created already because we've done it in our previous tutorial. Yeah, if you don't know how to go about that, you can just scroll to this section, which is the mat, scroll down and you see Cryptomat. I'll go back to my rendering. Yeah, toggle my rendering back on. When it's activated, I'll just go to my add and go towards exposure, and I'll boost the exposure up, not so much, boost it up like this, not to look too overexposed. It's too much from here. The highlight burning, I can drop it down so that it won't be burning so much. Yeah, just drop it around this region so that we can see the fine highlights. So this before, this after, we can see the fine highlights that is given to the boss right here. So we don't want it to affect everything in the scene. I'll just go back to my add and do what, my Cryptomat mask. So I'll go to what, peak. I'll redo my peak, which is the +1. Yeah, so I'll select what it should only affect. So quickly, it affected this one. Select this one as well, select this guy as well, go around here, already activated, select these guys. So this is what we've created so far by popping up the bosses right from here. We see that the bosses from this region are being popped up with the Cryptomat mask. You see the effect that it has added up to our scene without doing the light linking on the bosses. Yeah, so we can do another one for the reds from the middle, like all the reds right there, but we can pop some few things by adding some light into the scene to create the gobo effect that we've created from this region. Let me just add this real quick into the scene. Yeah, pause my rendering, that we have a gobo effect created. Yeah, so this particular scene, we have our gobo effect created to give that dynamic look. You can actually do that one on this particular scene. Yeah, you can have that on this particular scene. You can have the gobo effect affecting the middle section or around the floor region here, so that you have a dynamic looking beautiful scene. Yeah, so without wasting so much time, I'll just dive into the test animation, but from here you are good to go with your scene. Yeah, so with the gobo effect that you add around this region, you can refer back to my previous tutorial if you don't know what the gobo lighting is. So you can refer back to that to have a nice gobo lighting around your middle section to add up to this scene, to pop it up if you want to. Yeah, so quickly, I'm done with this scene. I'll just render it out. I'll just move right into the logo animation. So this is our next scene that we are going to create, the main logo animation. So looking at the reference, we have the O, which is coming from the reporter. We have the O from this region opening up to close. We have the O opening up and to close up the scene right here. However, we're going to make it abstract. I'll go to my text tool or the text spline, and I'll just quickly write what's abstract. Yeah, so I have my text right there. I have two options to do that particular animation. Yeah, I can choose to use the B, or I can choose to use what's the A from here. But the best fit for this animation purpose, I'll go for the A, which is the A around this region. So what I can quickly do is I'll just take the A off, create some space in between there, duplicate this one as well, and just type only the A from here. Yeah, so with this A, I'll just go to my front view from here and drag it to fit the middle section right here. Yeah, so this is what we have so far. With the first spline, which is the abstract, and we've taken the A off, do my Shift C to tap extrude. Holding my Alt, I'll just double click to add it up from there. So you can quickly change your font as well. I'll go for Montserrat. From here, I'll just do the first one and change it to bold. On the extrude, I'll drop down the extrusion about 50, make it 35, and do the same on the spline, which is the A as well. Do the same thing to the A, make a duplicate of this one, which is the extrude. Delete this one real quick and drag the A into to have the same scale of the first one, and there we have it. And I'll make it bold from here. So this how our test is looking so far. I'll create my camera from here, and I'll enter the camera. I'll view through the camera and position the camera to face exactly to the front view of my test. I'll go to my camera, go to position, open up the grid and the crosshair, try to align the text to fit exactly the middle section. From here, create a now. I'll select both the text, which is the abstract, the one that I've extracted, which is the A, and I'll just make a group of it and make it text from there. So with the text selected, I'll go to frame 30 and lock animation on everything. select auto key, open it up, and with the camera selected, I'll make sure the text is exactly fit in the middle section, and I'll draw my camera just back a bit like this. Yeah, from here it's okay. I'll right click on the camera and I'll go to my rigging and do what? Protection. We can't zoom in or move the camera or any movements to affect or distract the camera animation. We have our camera being still. With the text selected, I have it locked on frame 30. I'll go to the first frame. What I'll do is I'll move the abstract close to the camera like this, and I'll change the position from the A, move it up a bit, try to fit it to pass through the camera. Just be careful about it whilst you are doing it. Drag it about this, pass through like this. So this is what we've created so far. Yeah, but with this, it's a basic look of how the scene should look. Yeah, but it's best when the letter you want to transit in is around the middle section. Yeah, but we can work around this if this is what you want to achieve. With the A, I'll go to the A separately, which is the first one. I'll make it just the letter A, bring it around frame 20. I'll lock all the animation on it as well around here. Then I'll do a rotation, meaning the icon point is not in the middle section. So I'll select the A, go to tools, axis, go to axis center, and toggle my include children and all objects and hit execute. Anchor point right in the middle of the A on the A, and I'll go to about 10 and I'll do a rotation. Yeah, I'll do a rotation around here and I'll drag it from this region. Yeah, so quickly, this is what we have. So we have the A moving back like this before it starts moving. Yeah, yes, but just some weird movement of the text around this region that makes it to look like it's not really centered. As I said, when your transition letter is close to the middle section, it looks way better. Yeah, but we can still work around this one. I have a problem with the movement of the letters, so quickly I'll just go to my text, which is the main abstract, do Shift C, and I'll type what? Fracture, and I'll add my fracture right in. From there, go to my effector, add the plane, and make it what? 0. With my fracture selected, I'll go to object, change it to explode segment and connect. From the plane, I'll make the scale uniform scale and make it what? -1. Yep. With the plane selected, I'll go to my field, go to linear field, and add it up right from there. I can quickly move this guy right to the left hand side, lock a key on the x-axis. Yeah, so we have the animation looking like this, but showing from here, so it starts revealing whilst this guy also moves. So we have the text revealing, so a shift came from the right hand side to push it up to the last letter. So everything is looking good so far for my liking, and I'm really loving the result. Yep, I'll go to my fracture, go to effector, and add up the delay quickly, toggle the position and rotation right off, and I'll go to effector, change it to spring, and make it about 75. Yeah, so this is how we are looking so far. I can add some shape right at the back from here, so I'll push this guy right back, make it a bit thinner, open it up like this, try to adjust it way better from this angle. So let me make this shape editable, and I'll select the edge from here, select the other end as well, and I'll drag it back. Idea behind creating this shape is to cover up the text from this region to create a bit of backdrop for it. Yeah, so we have our shape moving from here about revealing, then this shape also comes in and blocks up like this. I'll just create a quick animation on that for now. Drag it way back just like this, select it and drag it way back. We have it's moving too fast, so just like this. Yep. So what we can quickly do to not make it just a basic shape, creating some dynamics to make the scene not to look just so simple. Create another box right from here and make it smaller. I'll quickly just make this guy and this guy, which is the boss and the one that we've created already. So I'll add a cloner right here into it. With the cloner selected, I'll just close it up like this, which is 53, and I'll make the same thing on this as well, 53. Yep. Create it on a clone from this angle, and on the top to 5.3, drag it up a bit. Yeah, put it in from here. So I'll go back to the front view. and I'll create a bow right from here, add it up and add this guy too as well. Swap it up to get a perfect look of how I want it to look like. So I'll go to my bow and I'll invert the intersection on A intersection B just like this. So with the cloner, I'll just go to my effector, add a plane on the cloner right here, make the position back to 0. With the scale, I'll make the scale uniform and make it -1. So with the plane selected, I'll add up the linear as well, open it up like this. Yeah, go back to my normal view, and with the shape right here that we animated, I'll just drag it to close up like this. I will turn off the animation. I'll just right click on it, animation, and I'll just delete the track on it from there. The animation that we're going to create right now will come from the revealing of the bosses to close up the animation from the back of the text. Move right into the middle section. Based on the number of clones that you have, it might slow down your PC. Yeah, I'll just lock up the animation from here, go back to the beginning, way back like this. This is how we are looking so far. So about the text revealing, we have the shape also doing its own thing, and let's have a look. Yes, I'll go to my render to picture view, long press on it and make a preview from there, make it 1920 by 1080 and run a play blast to see how it's looking. So this is what we've created. We have a dynamic look from the shape, which is the boss right there.
So we can borrow up some few materials from the previous scene. I will just go over here, copy these materials right here and just paste it in the new scene, which is the text. So you just have to drag the material that you want to add up to the text, which is the bar. I will just drop the red one, this as well, and I will take the boss white and drop it on the bowl as well. Drop it on the bowl, and there we have it. So we have our basic material. Quickly, I created a rectangular light just to heat up the text from the top. I don't want anything so dramatic, and I link the light to affect only the text right here. So I have the rectangular light linked to only the text, which is this one. The rectangular light is only affecting the text right here in the middle, and the HDR is excluding the text. Yeah, let's do a quick render to see how we are looking so far.
In the next one, we are going to composite all these things together, from the first one to the second, last one, which is the transitioning from the letter that you've created. There's always something new and exciting right around the corner, so stay tuned and keep creating. See you in the next one. Bye.